What is this, you might be asking? Any guesses? These bits might give it away.
It's Kenzie's very broken bed, which is very shoddily put together and is apparently being picked up today, which is all good and well. But we have dentist appointments at lunchtime. So I'm not really sure how we're going to solve this problem other than us putting the old bed outside and hoping that they will leave the new bed for us when they take the old one. I just don't know, but I made it very clear we had an appointment. This morning, though, I am very happy to see temperatures are dropping. 26.2 degrees there. That is not how the story went last night. Let me show you in the visual storytelling of how my night was. So as you can see, I've not had a lot of sleep because it was just awful. It's okay. The problem has been solved. They've just rung and said the bed is being delivered in 15 minutes. So despite the fact that I cleaned this bathroom only yesterday, I'm going to give it a very quick flick around just to make it fresh. Now I bought this the other day and I'm going to give it a very quick go on the mould along here and see how it does, and if it's any good then I'll do the other parts too. And then leave for 2 to 3 hours, so I'll come back to that later. And all has been swapped for an identical bed, which is probably just as shoddily made. But we'll see how this one goes. Looks like Nagini is having a very long stretch along her tank. She does need a clean out. That is a job we need to do. Hi, Nagini. I fed you yesterday, so I can't actually pick you up. Sorry. Due to all this fantastic weather we've been having, I have been very lucky. Well, actually, most of the country's been very lucky, and we have all been able to dry our clothes outside, which means less damp in our homes, and it's better than using a tumble dryer, especially when the price of electric is so much at the moment and everyone is struggling between the heat or eat situation. In fairness, in the last few weeks there has been no struggle between heat and eat because everyone is pretty hot. Sadly though, I suspect that's not going to be the case in a few months' time when we hit winter, and the fuel bills are meant to go up again in October, and there's going to be an awful lot of people who can't afford to eat or heat. So I don't know, things are pretty shocking right now, and I'm sure it's not just the UK, but it's got particularly bad here in the UK at the moment with the price of food, price of energy, the price of fuel, just everything is ridiculous, and something has to end. I mean, people can't carry on paying those prices. What are we currently at in this room? This room feels really hot because it's got all the windows. Oh, 29.9 degrees. Yes, that is kind of the face I was making last night when I was trying to sleep. Looks like someone wants his breakfast. What do you think? Sushi, want some breakfast? in this crazy hot weather, I have been leaving little trays and tipped up jars of water, pots of water for the wildlife, and also making sure there is water in shallow trays like this for the insects so they can get some. These flowers are doing beautifully. This never seems happy anymore. Oh, I've just noticed I've completely drowned it. That won't be helping the situation, will it? Let's take that out. Pour this water down here on this plant. Leave that to drain on that thing for a bit. Look at my wonderful beans. Look at that, so many. I'm going to have those for dinner tonight, I think. I meant to show you this the other day, but unfortunately I forgot to film it. Have we got any more? My little bean plant's been doing so well. It's constantly got new flowers as well. Take that little bean. These are doing really well. These are the plants from the bathroom, the lilies or orchids that I transferred into the substrate that I bought from Millet's Farm 2 weeks ago. And this one here is the winter flowering cacti, which was like this, really poor condition. Needed repotting, so I've repotted it, and it spent a lot more time out here rather than in the conservatory, and it's had a lot of water, which I was always worried about doing before with it being a cacti. But I've also brought these cacti out as well, and they're doing so much better as well, having regular water. So I just need to stop worrying about watering cacti, I think. I've said to Kenzie that this week I will pay him to clean all of this conservatory. That includes all the cobwebs and dead bugs and fly poo. And I will pay him to do that job. I'm just going to give this area a very quick sweep as well, because it all blows in under the fence. There we go. That is a lot better than it was. And I managed to forage a little bit of plantain to dry. Change of plan, the dentist is not feeling well, so we've had to have our appointment cancelled, but it's booked in for another couple of weeks, so we'll do it then. But it does mean we can start our crafting earlier, and Kenzie is just using a practice piece. You want to show us your maple leaf there?
Not very good.
Practicing the pyrography. I think that is very good.
Right.
It's definitely better than the instructions. The sponge need to use with water. That is pinch sponge without water but wetness. The function of sponge is collecting tinsley. What does that even mean? I think we're about 2 hours later. It has made a difference. It's not got rid of it completely. I'll leave it a bit longer. Is it quite hot work, is it? We're still working on our practices, aren't we? You're setting fire to it. Got a notch in that now. I'm trying to make a start on a tree of life, but I'm really not getting the hang of the gentle approach. And it does make a difference what nibs you use. Kenzie's moved on to boat building. he is going to build the black pearl.
Mm.
Whoop. Did it go everywhere?
Luckily it didn't.
The black pearl from...
Stinks.
What's the black pearl from?
That's a good bit.
That's the one. Too bad for my first attempt, I have to say. I'm quite impressed with them. I still not got the hang of the tools really, or how not to burn through, and there's the soft wood and the harder wood in the rings that causes differences in when you drag the tool across. As you can see up in the tree, there's been some burn marks where that's happened, and some of the browning, which isn't the best look, which I managed to avoid mostly on this one. I'm just wondering if maybe I had the temperature up a bit too high on that one. And writing is an absolute pig of a thing to try. That has been several hours now, so I'm just going to give it a wipe. Not amazing, I have to say. It did start to take the blackness out of it, but it's not really done it. I'll give it a try on the windowsill though, on this bit, and see if it works better here. It does say you can reapply if needed, so we'll try this and see if that works any better. I've made a thick line across there, and I've put some in the corners. We'll leave that a couple of hours and see how that does. I'm going to give my tea shelf a bit of a clean, my tea and coffee shelf, because it's looking pretty disgusting, but it's above eye level so I never see it. That's looking much better. New bed construction. Part 2, Ailey.
Yeah.
Exactly the same bed, so I'm not expecting much. Kenzie, lay very still on your bed, okay? No rolling, moving or breathing, all right? Yeah.
Well, if it's not fit for purpose...
Well, they wouldn't give us a refund, so...
Well, I just have to keep sending new beds back every couple of
Every
months,
time they
isn't it?
break. Dinner's a totally cheat affair today. We've got mushy peas, chili chicken strips and oven chips for those two. And I've got some of the chili chicken on thickly buttered gluten-free sourdough with some, what's that? Mayonnaise on it. Some coleslaw and some cucumber for me. It's now 7 o'clock. We've all been fed. Kenzie's had enough of his crafting. He's done loads today. I'm really impressed with him hanging out with me and doing something a bit different, because it can be quite hard to engage him in things. So it's nice. I've had a really nice time. And I said to him, have you enjoyed hanging out doing stuff? And he said, yes. He has chopped the end of his finger with a little tool that he was using, the snipping tool. But he did manage to stop it bleeding. We put plasters on it. So I'm not going to worry too much. It should be okay. Anyway, I'm going to say my goodbyes now. And I hope you've enjoyed today's video. And I will see you lovely lot tomorrow.